FarWest Chase is in the building today. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for asking.
Right.
So, where are we today?
We are in Phillipsburg, New Jersey at Tshikovi Tea House. This is my wife and myself business. We opened this location, I believe, in December of 2020. We already had it going online and everything, and then we figured, we need a physical location. So here we are.
That's what's up. So I know that a lot of us know you as P Chase, and now all of a sudden we see everything has been changed to FarWest Chase. Why the name change?
The name change from P Chase to FarWest Chase was because it was just too many technicalities that was happening with the name. Because if anybody's familiar with it, it was spelled with a P-CHA $E. So whenever you put the $ in like the Google search or like the to try to search the name in anything, it won't take the $ most of the time. And people were having so many issues finding my music or even finding me sometime because of that. And it even was a problem with my streaming and my downloads when it came time for me to recoup from DistroKid. So it was just like, nah, we can't keep going through this, you feel me? So we changed it to FarWest Chase. FarWest is a movement of a bunch of guys from my hood. We from North New Jersey, the West Ward, Hooterville, Ill Hill, but we at the top of the hill, so we call that FarWest. But it's a whole movement. We got other artists like FarWest Meat, tattoo artists, FarWest Los, FarWest 605, FarWest Tizzy. We just got people that's all creators. These are all people that's actually doing like clothing, music, film. We just got a whole brand and movement going now, so it just felt right to do it that way.
Okay, so how has life been for you during this pandemic?
It's a deep question. Well, it been up and down, but for the most part, I feel like we came out on top of it. This business right here was created during the pandemic, and it's been flourishing. It's been allowing us to be as free as possible. You feel me? And I went through the whole process with the catching the COVID shit, and COVID didn't really do much to me, but it did leave it left a blood clot in my body. I ain't never said this, I don't think publicly on no interview or nothing, but it left a blood clot in my body, and it traveled and it ruptured a vessel in my brain, which caused me to have a stroke. So I was non-mobile on the whole right side of my body was immobile. I couldn't move nothing for months. I had to learn how to walk again, had to go to physical therapy to move my arm again. My speech was off, I couldn't rap. It was a daunting time, but I knew I was gonna overcome it, you feel me? I knew I was gonna overcome it. The doctors was telling me maybe a year or two before I could be able to be active again, but I was back popping in 9 months, you feel me?
So you had a full stroke. You actually had a stroke.
Yeah.
But today you're able to speak, you're able to rap, you're able to move on your own. Honestly, if you didn't say that, nobody would have known.
Yeah, I know. When I do share with people, that's what they always tell me. We can't even tell, and it's I can tell. I still can feel it a little bit from certain little things. You feel me? But it's I'm saying, people was praying for me, sending me great positive energy. I had my wife there through the whole thing, helping me through everything. My moms, my sister, my in-laws, everybody. Everybody was pushing for me to get right and help me in any way possible. So, I'm here. It's a testimony, you did.
You're here for a really big purpose,
That's understood.
Yes, you're here for a big purpose. So let's talk about rap artists. Give me your top 10 of all time rap artist list. It doesn't have to be in order, so it's any order, just top 10.
Top 10, that's tricky. Alright, let's see, no order. But I'm gonna go Scarface, Tupac, Nas, Jay, Nipsey, T.I., Lupe, DMX,
You got two more. You got two more.
Oh man. Oh man. Queen Latifah. And Eminem.
Okay. I like that list. That list is pretty solid. I feel like not too many people can debate that list. But yeah.
Word.
Okay.
That's a solid list.
It shows us where your head is at. Okay.
Facts.
So, where does your inspiration come from, and who are your influences? So, it's safe to assume that that list has a lot of your influences in them as far as music is concerned. But what about everyday life?
So, like, everyday life, like, I would say, like, obviously that list is my influences, a lot of my influences when it comes to music. And a lot of them a lot of those artists have gave me the jewels to maneuver through life, you feel me? But when it comes to like business, I would say like I'm heavily influenced by Master P, Dame Dash, Nipsey. Like these are people that come from the environment of which I come from and flourished. And they're giving you the game, like they're dropping the jewels for you. So I've always did that. Russell Simmons, you feel me? Like people of his caliber. But then I look to like my mother. She's like extremely inspiring to me to see everything that she's been through in the will, that she's had to always be resilient and bounce back and get done what she needed to get done. I'm inspired by my wife. I watch her set a goal, accomplish it. No matter what happens, she makes sure she gonna go get to it. Dig me? People like my brother Breeze. I done watched him go through everything. We done went through everything together. I done watched him been down, been up, penitentiary, came back, going through all the turmoil, and my bro still came out on top. Like these are people that's dear to my heart that influence me. You don't gotta be a celebrity to inspire, to influence me. It's actually more tangible to see somebody that you know go through everything, been through the mud, but it's able to come out on top. It makes you know that you can do it. You feel me? It gives you that feeling, that will to push through. Right. So those are my type of people that inspire me. You feel me?
All right, yeah, definitely. So let's talk about the music scene in New Jersey right now. Okay. What do you feel? What do you feel is the current state of New Jersey's music scene?
I feel like right now it's in a better place than it's ever been, but I still think that what we lack is camaraderie. You feel me? I feel like I lived in South Carolina, Columbia for like 2.5, 3 years. I was shaking and moving down there doing music, and I saw how they were, like the way that they embraced each other on that independent music scene. It's like, oh, when one of those artists come in the club, the DJ playing their record, making them feel like they the king of wherever they at. We don't really get that unless we throw in the DJ a couple of dollars. You feel me? Everything is like a pay-to-play thing here, and I respect it because it's a business. But at the same time, it's like this the hometown. We gotta take care of the hometown, and I feel like we don't do that. A lot of us don't do records together. A lot of us don't even support each other. Like, I can repost somebody's album that just came out, but they won't do the same for me. They won't even acknowledge that. Not even just saying myself, but speaking in general. They might not even acknowledge that I reposted it. Or you told them, commenting like, bro, that's dope, that's good, or sis, you fired. It's like egos be too involved to where as though they be feeling like they don't gotta talk to you. And the craziest thing about where we're from, a lot of artists haven't been outside of New Jersey or Newark or just the state period. So to feel like you've accomplished so much, but you haven't even traveled or haven't even been abroad to even showcase your talent, it's like we dealing with fake egos here. You feel me? And we all need to do better, including myself. Like I feel like we just all need to come together so we can be the next powerhouse. So we can have that Atlanta movement. So we can have that Houston movement. You feel me? Because we capable of it. It's dope ass niggas here. Dope ass females. Dope ass like we just so creative here. Just so creative.
So when we talk about music scenes, Let's talk about New York, down south in general, Houston, Atlanta, California. All of these places, when it comes to the hip hop music scene, they have distinct sounds. When you hear a song from a certain area, you know it's from that area.
Very true.
Do you feel like New Jersey has a sound? And if so, what is New Jersey sound?
I feel like for a long while New Jersey had like an identity crisis, because we like if you're from northern New Jersey, you're considered a New Yorker. So a lot of times you sound like New York, or that's what they want you to believe. Or if you're from South Jersey, you are automatically sounding like Philly, or you identify more with Philadelphia. You feel me? Like, but it's not always that. And then we even had the moment where we had guys from New Jersey sounding like they was from Atlanta, like literally using their accents and everything. So
that's crazy.
It was very weird. I've never done it, but it's very weird. It just seemed very weird. But I think it's because for so long it's been a distance between like our forefathers, like Naughty by Nature and Queen Latifah and Redman. Like, we didn't have like that big thing in a long time until Fetty Wap came along. You feel me? When Fetty Wap came, he put his stamp down, and now that was his sound. But that wasn't necessarily the sound of New Jersey. But I think more so now, how can I put, like, we always had soul music, we always had samples, and we always had club music. That was something I grew up on. But now the younger generation are like, they killing it with infusing the club music with the rap music, and now they killing it, like DJ J Hood, like Buddha 4K, and it's a bunch of other ones that's out there, but they killing it right now by infusing that. So that's actually giving us a sound to where it's done. I promise you, it's gonna be mimicked. They may not give us our credit for it, like they don't do for a lot of stuff when it comes to the music industry that Jersey has created. But I'm telling you, that is finally giving us a sound. You feel me?
Yeah, word. I feel like more people are now paying attention to Jersey, especially because of what you said. They're infusing the hip hop with the club music and even with house music as well. A lot of people outside of New Jersey know New Jersey for house music. So house music and club music, I do see that being something, if you do infuse it with hip hop, sounding like, okay, this might be a New Jersey sound. You're absolutely right. So let's talk about just the hip hop scene in general. How do you feel about the current state of hip hop?
The current state of hip hop, I feel like the current state of hip hop is actually, is actually in a pretty good place. I just think that the mainstream part of it isn't. Like, the reason why I say overall it is because there's so many different ways to consume music. So I don't have to listen to the radio to consume my music. I can literally find what artists I want to listen to and listen to just that type of music if I choose to listen to that, which I think is a great thing, because mainstream music kind of forces us to think that you have to sound like everybody else in order to be in a good position, when that's not true.
Do you feel like radio is dead?
To a certain extent. I feel like to a certain extent, I don't want to say it's dead, but when you listen to the radio, pretty much the same 10 songs are playing all day long, and out of those 10 songs, at least 7 of them all sound the same. All of this is just really what it is. It's like, it's factual, you feel me? But that's not what it has to be. That's the system controlling that. But I feel like we have a lot of dope artists out here that if you want to hear them, you can hear them. Some of them are getting, a lot of independent artists is eating more than these artists that's on the radio. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like the things that the mainstream is pushing is like everybody should sound the same. And you don't gotta sound the same in order to have an audience. You don't gotta push everything destructive in order to have an audience. Like, somebody could really talk about something and still get through and still have an audience. Everybody doesn't have to be the same. God made everybody specifically a way for a reason. Like, your purpose is your purpose. Your sound is your sound. Your gift is your gift. You shouldn't have to be a carbon copy of something else in order to feel like you're somebody, or in order to feel like you've made it, or to get attention.
Do you think that? Do you think that the traditional sense of an artist making it by getting a traditional record deal, do you feel like that's dead?
I feel like it's different strokes for different folks. You feel me? I feel like some of the biggest artists ever, they came through the avenue of a regular record deal. It's still some super dope artists out there that's getting signed to majors, and that's the way they breaking through. You just gotta have a goal set. Like, being on a major may be the beginning of it, but that shouldn't be the ending of it. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I feel like retaining ownership and publishing and having the rights to your music and the rights and the likeness to your name, those are the things that all artists should have. Like, so if you're gonna sign, you sign it, get your paper. And then after that, do your own thing. Learn what you can learn while you're in that building, and then use what you learn to push forward.
I like that. So I remember, I forgot who said it, but I remember somebody explaining it like this. They said that record labels might create stars, right? Even if it's just for the moment.
Yeah.
But being independent and growing your audience independently helps cultivate individuals. So more so if you are a part of a record label, yeah, you know, you might get that blow, you might get that pop, but most record labels, just like the radio and everything out nowadays, they're going by trends. So whatever's trending is what they want. But a lot of the independent artists that we find out of going through SoundCloud or seeing a viral video, they're so themselves, and then that becomes cool because they're so different from what we see in mainstream. Do you agree with that?
I do. I feel like first off, being authentically you is gonna always push through. It's gonna always push through because it's people that are fighting to be authentically themselves. So if they can see that in you, that's inspiring. You're tapping into a whole different type of audience now because you're being yourself, and so people can see that. Most of us can see when you're not being yourself.
You can feel it.
When you are being yourself, you can feel it. Like, especially through music. Music is to me, it's a spiritual thing. You feel me? You can feel it. When you listen to something and it give you chills and make the hair stand up on you, bro, it's not too much faking that can be involved in that. And if it is, you're amazing at what you do. But for most of the time, when it's genuine, you feel it. You don't even gotta say it. You just gonna feel it. People gonna gravitate toward it.
Very well said. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. So, what are some things that you cannot live without?
Things that I can't live without. Things, I can live without things. I don't need things. I just can't live without certain people. I can't live without love. I can't live without loyalty. I can't live without what's the word I'm looking for? The need of purpose. Like, those are the things that I can't live without. If we're talking about things that you can't touch, but physical things, I don't really need much. I like a lot of things, but I don't really need much. You feel me?
So let's talk about purpose, since you talked about the need for purpose. Do you feel like that's something that you just one day wake up and realize what your purpose is? Do you feel like it's an ongoing journey for the rest of your life? Do you feel like you just will never find your purpose? Do you believe your purpose can change? Like, what do you really feel about purpose?
I think purpose is different for everybody, how you find it. I feel like when it hits you, you know it. That's how I look. Like, I feel like music is my passion, but maybe not my purpose. I feel like music is the engine that might get me to my purpose, or might be able to spread my purpose further than if I was just somebody that just worked at Walmart. You feel me?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Okay. Okay. So what do you know your purpose to be?
What do I feel my purpose to be at this time in life is to inspire, to uplift, and to change.
Okay.
Like,
Do you feel like that will ever change? Do you feel like if we did this interview 10 years from now, that purpose would have evolved into something different?
I would hope that that in 10 years I can say parts of that purpose has been fulfilled. But I don't think it would change. I think that my purpose, I just think that majority of our purpose on this earth is to leave it better than it was when we leave.
Can you tell us about this new song and video that you just put out?
Scatterbrain. It's a record that I was sitting on for over a year. Record has been done. I just wasn't sure about it because it didn't really have majority of my music have direction. This record didn't really have too much direction. It's a little different than some of the stuff I normally do. So I didn't really know if I should put it out. But other people was hearing it and they like, yo, bro, put it out. Put it out. It's dope. It's dope. Put it out. So my brother Breeze with the assist of Mr. Chiefin, FarWest 605 and FarWest Tizzy. We shot the video. We edited it up and we put it out. The song is really just what it says, scatterbrain. Like, I'm saying stuff, but it's all over the place. Like, it's literally all over the place. And in the song, you can hear like the pull. You can hear the pull. Like, it just is. It sounds like it's all over the place because it is all over the place. You feel me?
So it's art imitating life for you.
It's in a sense, not directly, because some of the stuff like the part in the chorus, some parts of what I'm speaking on, I'm not in that space in life anymore. You feel me? It's kind of just like a reminiscent thing.
Okay,
You
so
feel
let's.
me?
I like that you went there. So, do you feel like it's important as an artist as an artist that likes to let their art imitate their life directly? They're not pulling from any other sources but themselves and their own experiences. Do you feel like it's okay for an artist to evolve? Think about like a Jay-Z or a T.I. What they might have been rapping about in the 90s is totally different than what they're rapping about now. How do you feel about artists that don't change that? And do you feel like you still have the right, and are you entitled to still speak about things that you might not be involved in anymore?
I feel like life is evolving experience, right? Mm-hmm. So your experiences are parts of your life. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you should always be able to speak on your experiences, but you should always tell both sides of the experience. Mm-hmm. I don't think you should just tell one side of the experience because then you're leaving the scale imbalanced. Mm-hmm. You're not telling the full truth. Mm-hmm. I feel like wherever you are in life, to me, for me, should be reflective in your music. But I understand I'm in the entertainment business, but I'm not really an entertainer. You feel me? So my music is always going to reflect where I am in life. I'm going to give you what got me here, but I'm also going to let you know where I am. I'm never going to lie to you. And I think that that's the being comfortable with who you are, because it took a while to get here. You feel me? This isn't like, oh, I just always been this way. You feel me? You have to be comfortable where you are with who you are and in your skin. I also believe that if an artist, me at 20, is not the same person I am at 30. So why should I still be trying to emulate a 20-year-old, whether it's music or anything? I should be giving you what I am now, currently. And I believe that is so important for us as artists, especially us as black artists, because the environments of which we come from, we don't always have the best role models or father figures or just males that can show you the way. So if you know better, I feel like it's our duty to give the game, to give the right game. You feel me? If I know that this road took me down getting locked up and shot and stabbed, then my thing now that I know after I lived it is, nah, that ain't it. So now I need to tell you something different so you don't go down that road. You feel me? If you go down that road, then that's what you choose to do. But I know I did my part by trying to deter you from that. I'm not about to sit here and tell you to do a bunch of stuff that I know ain't gonna get you nowhere. That's just how I feel. And I feel like it should be reflective in the music. The person you are should be reflective in your music. That's just me.
Okay, yeah, that's truth, because I do feel like there is a thin line between telling your story and promoting your lifestyle.
It's a thin line between telling your story and glorifying
your lifestyle, exactly. And sometimes you can get lost in that. Well, not you in particular, but sometimes artists can get lost in that, trying to get a hit. And knowing that even though a lot of hip-hop comes from a place of struggle. So a lot of people, that's how we were able to storytell, that it's just like the blues or any other form of music. It was a place of struggle that we made beautiful. But I feel like sometimes, especially with artists today, that they glorify it so much, the struggle so much, without giving the cautionary tales. And I feel like the cautionary tales are what are important. And when I listen to your music, that's what I hear. I hear you telling us the stories of your life. They might not be the most glamorous stories, they might not be the prettiest stories, but you're not glorifying them in a way where you're telling young kids now that they need to do it. You're definitely giving your story like an OG, like, listen, this is what I went through, I've been there. But then showing them, well, you don't have to be there forever. You can leave your block. There's so much more to explore. You can go outside of America and see different places and enjoy yourself and smile and have a family. Like, you're showing all of the other things that are possible outside of just your radius. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. I just feel like we have so many people that claim to be big homies and OGs, but they still want to move like little homies. So it's an oxymoron. Like, you can't claim to be a big homie, but still are doing everything or trying to act like you're doing everything that the little homies is doing. I'm a grown man, I move as a grown man, and I make grown man music. Now, my grown man music is for other grown men, but it's grown man music because a 20-year-old can digest it and can use it to navigate. You get what I'm saying? A 17-year-old can digest it if they're willing and use it to navigate. It's because we're not on the same level in life. So my perspective is going to be a little bit different from yours, as what we would call a elderman, right? To the younger ones. Like, it's like my perspective a little different because I've been at yours. I've seen it. So I can tell you, like, bro, you got to maneuver a little different if you don't want to hit the same road bumps that I hit. And that's how I look at it. I see music helped raise me so much. I'm so passionate about it. I'm so passionate about authenticity. Like, T.I. is one of my favorite rappers because he has been authentic since he first ever dropped his first song or his first album all the way to now. He always told you the whole story. He'll tell you how to move 100 keys, but then he'll tell you if you move them 100 keys, that federal system will give you 1,000,000 years. Like, he always kept it real with you, and it's your choice to choose what you want to do. He gave you the game.
Right. Dope. So, do you have any projects that you're currently working on?
Yeah, I'm working on, well, the album is done. We just in the mastering stage and was adding some additional vocals to it. Oh Lord, it's been a long time coming. It's been an uphill battle to get this album done, yo. But it's called Solid Foundation, and it should be out within like the next couple of months. Definitely pushing for it, cause now it's just mastering it and packaging it and getting it out there to the people. That's really where we at with it right now, and I'm very, very, very proud of this music, of this body of work. I feel like it's great from beginning to end. You're going to get a little bit of everything. You're getting every part of me in this music, in this project. And I made it that way to where it was though I put so much into it, just in case if I never make music again, this is me. You know this is me. If I never put out another project, this is who I was. This is my time stamp in history. And that's it. I plan on keep doing music, you feel me? But I'm just saying, just in case, this is it. It's a beautiful project. It's soulful. It's you got a lot of up-tempo tracks. It's very, very musical. I love it. I love it. I love it. I thank everybody that helped me get it to where it's at, that worked on this with me. The hours put in, everything, man. It's a beautiful project. It's an amazing project.
So, your first ever project that you put out versus the current project that you're working on and putting out soon. What are the similarities and what has changed? What are the differences?
What are the similarities?
And then tell us what's your first project for the people that don't know.
My first project ever?
Yes. Because we're gonna have people Google it, okay?
You can't Google my first project. It wasn't nothing to be Googled.
So you trying to tell us the internet wasn't popping yet?
The internet was popping. I sound like I'm dumb old or not, but it was we didn't. What did we have? What did we have at that time? We had MySpace. We had MySpace, I think. So we didn't have all the different outlets that we got now for your music to be up. But now that you're saying that, I think I'm gonna upload that stuff if I can find it. But my first project that I ever did was with my childhood friend, Street Glory, and I think it was called the Arrival. We had a group back in the day called Neighborhood Threat. And we had took like soul songs and the songs that we did together and then a couple freestyles, and we literally sat at my house on the porch. We bought a printer, we bought CDs, we bought paper. It looked bootleg as shit, but we sat up for like 3 days straight and just printed up like 800 copies of our old shit, and we went to the street and we just started selling them. Like,
how much were you selling it for?
We were selling them for whatever he was gonna give me. We were selling them for $2. We selling them for $5. We literally would take the box of CDs, put it in the back seat, pull up on anybody block and say, "Yo, you listen to hip hop? Check this out. Play it real quick. If they like it, they gonna give you money for it. Be like, it was $5. Be like, oh, I don't know about $5. Fuck it, give me $2. I'll take $3. You feel me? That's how we was rocking.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
That's how we was doing it.
You don't see that too much anymore. You don't see people like pushing it on the streets and pushing CDs. I mean, do people even listen to CDs now?
I'm saying they still make CDs, but I feel like CDs is more for like that passionate music lover. That person that want that crispy sound, and that person that dives into music, and it's like a collectible item now. I feel like it's like what vinyl was for our parents.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, but
so do you feel like even with that, talking about how you used to distribute because you were basically your own distribution company, if that's what you were doing, do you feel like the grind and the hustle of today's artists is the same? Because I feel like personally it's very easy to put out music now because of the internet. You're able to put it on a million platforms on the internet and not leave your room, as opposed to how a lot of artists did back in the day, where they had to really knock people's doors down and really be in people's faces and interact and really sell a product. So they had to be their own PR, they had to be their own marketer, they had to be their own distribution. Do you feel like that part, that essence of the music industry is lost now because of technology?
I think that to a certain aspect, I feel like it's lost. But it's like you just got different resources, right? So a lot of everything that was digital, everything that was the internet. So it's just you can put in half the work and get major reward. You feel me? I feel like that's cool. That's definitely cool. But also the difference of being physically like nothing trumps physical connection. So when you actually out somewhere and you see somebody and you hand them, I wouldn't say a CD now, but you might hand them your QR code. You might give them your flyer with your QR code on them. Just from you having that little talk with them and that pull up on them and y'all just had a moment, that's totally different than somebody just posted something and, hey, check my stuff out. Nah, I actually met this person. They actually pulled up on me. I got to shake their hand. They cool as hell in real life. You get what I'm saying? Or they an asshole in real life. Right. It's like, but it leaves, it's like a memorable thing. Things that you can't put a price on.
Right, human interaction.
Yeah, like human interaction. And that's what I loved about it. Like, I'm from the street. So everything about me was hand in hand. Whether it was music or whatever else I was doing. So that's how I learned how to hustle. It was a little harder getting on the internet to do it, but you know, a hustler gonna be able to move in whatever terrain that he's in, and you learn. But I'll always love that hand to hand, like that hand to hand grind. I love it. I just love it. That's me. That's how I grew up.
Right. What do you want your legacy to have in it? What do you want people to say about you, FarWest Chase, as the artist, and just as the person in general?
He lived, he loved, he won, he lost, and he helped change the world while he was here.
How exactly, if you were a person, like from the outside looking in, what would you want somebody to say about you?
He changed my life. For the best. Or, damn, things are much better because he was here. You feel me?
How so, though? I mean, because you could change somebody's life by giving them $1 million. You can change somebody's life by...
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he changed my life in a positive way, period. It doesn't even have to be... It might not be... It doesn't have to always be tangible. The knowledge that I gave you, the conversation that I gave you could have changed your life. The shelter that I gave you one day might have changed your life. The money that I gave you could have helped change your life. The music that I gave you could have helped change your life. The time spent with you could have helped change your life. I just want to be remembered as somebody that was literally on real time trying to make things better for people that look like you and me in the world all together.
Very good, very good. All right, well, I had a blast. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you way more on multiple platforms. But for people who are not familiar of how to get in contact with you, drop all that info.
At FarWest Chase on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything is FarWest Chase. I ain't on TikTok yet, but I think I'm about to get up on it, you feel me? And then YouTube, FarWest Chase, everything.
All right, well, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for having me.